Let's go through the steps of the Read Naturally Encore program. This is Javon. Her teacher taught her how to complete the steps in Encore. Let's watch her work through a story. As you watch, notice that Javon can now work through most of the steps independently. She begins by choosing a story to work on from the set provided by her teacher. Giving students a choice of stories helps put them in control of their own learning. After selecting a story, Javon listens to the key words and their definitions or reads along with the narrator. This step helps students learn several challenging words from the story. Based on the story title, picture, and key words, she predicts what the story will be about. Next, Javon times herself for 1 minute as she reads the story aloud, but quietly for the first time. This first timing is called the cold timing. During the cold timing, Javon underlines any word she has difficulty reading. Her teacher has told her to underline words that she stops on, stumbles on, or wants to skip. After the cold timing, Javon counts how many words she attempted. Then she subtracts her errors to calculate the number of words she read correctly. Students who are new to the program need the teacher present during the cold timing until they can accurately identify their own errors. Javon graphs her cold timing score in blue on a fluency graph. Next, she reads the entire story along with a recording several times. In this step, Javon doesn't just passively listen to the story. Instead, she actively reads out loud quietly. Reading aloud helps make sure that Javon's actually reading with the narrator, who correctly pronounces the words. Students typically read along with the narrator 3 times. A few students may need to read along more than 3 times. Older students and students reading close to grade level may only need to read along once or twice. Once Javon has completed the read-along, she practices reading the story aloud quietly, without the narrator. She will practice anywhere from 3 to 10 times.
Have you ever wondered how people get ideas?
During these practices, she reads as far as she can in 1 minute and then calculates her score as she did during the cold timing. Javon continues practicing until she reaches the individualized goal rate that her teacher set. Once Javon can read the story at the goal rate, she turns up her red card to signal that she's ready to pass and needs help from an adult. While waiting for an adult, Javon answers some questions about the story. The comprehension questions are an important way of reminding students that they're reading for meaning, not just rate. If she finishes the questions before an adult is available, Javon continues practicing the story, trying to improve her score. She knows that if she isn't working, an adult won't come over to time her.
All right, are you ready to pass?
As soon as she's available, the adult conducts a 1-minute hot timing to see if Javon can pass the story.
Whenever you start reading, I'll start the timer.
Have you ever wondered how people get ideas to make new ones on the one side and loops on the other?
If Javon reaches her goal in the hot timing, makes 3 or fewer errors, reads with proper expression, and answers all the questions correctly, she passes the story. Javon graphs her hot timing score in red on the fluency graph, giving visual proof of her progress on the story. Finally, Javon sets the timer for 5 minutes and retells or summarizes the story. This step provides an opportunity to develop summarizing skills and reminds students that they are reading for understanding. An adult checks the retelling and counts the number of words written, excluding parts that were directly copied or that didn't reflect the story. Some teachers give bonus points for proper capitalization and punctuation. Javon graphs the number of words she wrote in 5 minutes, which enables her teacher to track her progress. Knowing that the retell is being measured motivates students to remember more of what they've read.
You have totally finished Velcro. Excellent job.
Now that Javon's completed all the steps, she starts again by selecting a new story to work on. Students work at their own pace, and it's quite possible that Javon won't complete all these steps in a single session. Instead, she makes note of what step she's on at the end of a session, and on the next day, she'll start working where she left off. Refer to the teacher's manual for more details about each step and lesson plans for teaching the steps to your students.